So welcome back, and as we've said in the previous video, 8 months down the line, looking at the paints, and they're doing really well. Some of these pens have gone really solid, but some of them are quite sticky, as you can see. I'm not going to get into the colours and into how I made them. You can see that in other videos. What I'm going to do here though is try them out again. It's been a while. I'm going to try them on some Bockingford paper. So this will go into the Bockingford experiments. I'm just going to use one brush today, just a flat brush. Just going to pop in some water, just really quickly. And I'm just going to test out these paints and see how they go. So we'll start in with some ultramarine deep. Just let that do its own thing, and blend and bleed and nice and liquidy. It's not so much a lesson for beginners, but one thing to remember, if you're not aware, is when you're designing skies and clouds, as you come down, you really want the whites of the clouds to get a bit smaller, and the skyline coming down to the horizon to get lighter is the key. So let's pop in some of this raw sienna stone. See how that's doing. Not really sure where we're going with this, just popping in paint really. Oh, that's nice and granulating, that's beautiful. Let's take both of those then. Just keep it quite simple. Just mix up some pigment there. Pop some of that into it as well, some of the deep. Get a nice green. You can see it blooming and going in there. Let's just pop in some of this mixture, the same two colours, the raw sienna. And just let that do its thing. Let's have some tissue handy. This is a toilet roll actually. Don't like the way it's blending and bleeding in there. Might need to adjust the board in a second. Raise that up. Let's just move something out of the way. Excuse my hands. Just going to raise this board up so it's leaning and put my glasses case in there. That's better. So now we'll get it running down. Let's have a look. So there it goes, it's running away now. Let's warm it up a touch with some of this burnt sienna that we've got over here. Pop that straight in. I mean, the thing about this paint that I have noticed is you've kind of got to get your moves in quite quickly, because once they start to dry off, there is a staining element, especially in the yellow pigments that we have in here. They're quite staining. Just join some of those passages. This is going to be a quick demo. I'm not going to spend too long on this. I'll try and keep this under 10 minutes. But you can see that these paints actually are performing pretty well. Let's go darker. Take the same colour, pop in some of the umber, just to go a bit darker. tissue because there's a natural passage coming out. I don't know if you noticed that. And this is, not got anything in front of me in terms of, so I just use some tissue here, and it's just getting a bit fat as we go down the ends to try and create a bit of a pathway here. Just curl in there before this dries off. Smooth that out. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll pop in some more pigment in here, just to suggest just need a bit of a curve on that. That's looking a bit strange. So we've got some soft edges, some wedges, some straight lines, some sharp lines. Just trying to mix it all up a bit, really, so they go off into the distance. Okay, and so we're going to try and keep this really, really simple. Just pop some of the ultramarine deep, just a weaker mix into the, oops, not a weak mix, a strong mix, into the backgrounds, just to suggest some distant trees. I think that's not doing what I wanted it to do, so I have to take that out. Just take some of that blue and mix it, excuse me, this umber to get darker notes in here. See what's going to happen here. It's still quite wet. I should really be patient and let this dry. There's a tip there for beginners. You're popping things in at the right time. And just wait for some of this to dry. So I just wanted to get some kind of darker notes in around here. Just that that's dry. It's almost dry. We'll pop it in into the distance. Hopefully we'll get some blending and bleeding going on. I'll suggest some bits in there. I'm not sure what they are. Doesn't really matter. Kind of the eye with the path is the idea. Smudge it out a bit. So some clear water in here. I'll take that out. I want to go back. Yeah, okay, so that could be some distant trees, whatever. We're just doing a quick demo here just to see how these paints are operating. And as I said, they seem to be operating really well. Just bring in darker notes there. We've got the umber and the ultramarine deep. Very strong pigment, this one. And still damp, just scratch out a few kind of suggested sort of highlights there, not to go too mad. So it suggests a bit of foliage in there. Just take that out a bit. Going off into that distance. Yeah. So this Bokenford paper is actually quite nice. It's kind of like, yeah, we're not going to really have a focal point. We'll just take the line. There's just a really simple. I can't even call it a study. It's just kind of just put together really quickly out of my own imagination. I was sort of suggesting all kinds there. I could really get into this, but I'm gonna leave it for now. He says famous last words. Yeah, that's better. This was just a bit wishy-washy. Just wanted to bring in some suggestions of maybe shadows and the final thing. Where's that gone? Yeah, that's just the green. This green is so powerful as a colour. Just want to touch in a few bits of it. This mineral green, I've looked at that before, but it kind of glows. It's pretty amazing stuff, actually. Got to be used sparingly, I think. There we go. And this neat form is incredibly powerful. And I'd say we've got some blurred edges, we've got some sharper edges. And I'm going to stop fiddling around as you do. Hopefully you can see that the homemade paints are still working really well. Great for atmospheric paintings. Look at a beautiful granulation in off of this mineral green. I've done a comparison actually, which you could go and check out between the mineral green and Daniel Smith's mineral apartheid green. Apatite rather. I always call it apartheid. It's apatite. So you could go and check that out, and we'll just do a quick unveil. I know we should wait for this to dry, but time is of the essence. Let's just get this off, and we can see what effect we got underneath. And get rid of the tape. Get rid of the paints. Pop that in there. Quick correction. I think I said that it was Bokenford paper that I was painting on. It wasn't. It was Winsor Newton artist watercolor paper, acid-free, mold-made. It was £140 weight, and it was cold press. So that's the paper, and there's the finished painting.